Thank you. I'm Sherin Mathew, CEO and founder of AI Tech North. It's a great honor to actually talk to you with open heart and explain what do I actually mean by disrupt the AI disruption. What I actually mean by that is executive thinking, thinking 10, 20 years down the line, and thinking with leadership thoughts, having vision and strategy in place. That's what it means, disrupt the disruption. Disruption in today's term is Industry 4.0. Industry revolution, treat this as a fourth wave coming to us like tsunami. So we got to be prepared and be armed how we can overcome this challenge. And most importantly, is treating this opportunity as a surfboard so that you could ride the Industry 4.0 wave. So let's start. I think first and foremost, we got to understand AI is for everyone. AI is for all. AI will be in every sector, every industry, every function, in one way or the other. You just need to have that creative mindset, curiosity, and executive thinking to sort of leverage your resources. I delivered a keynote yesterday, which was focusing on how can you bring curiosity and work with your resources to solve a problem in front of you. So let me just summarize. What are the resources we're talking about? So obviously, there's people, processes, technology within your organization. You got customers, you got supply chain, you got operational entities, and legacy systems, and loads of data, obviously. So with Industry 4.0, there's this convergence of everything coming together. Data that we've never seen before. We're creating data that does not even exist. They're called augmented analytics data. Technology is pretty much processing data at speed of thought, at lightning speed. And thanks to quantum, it will be even faster. Intelligence is a new fashion. It's there everywhere, in your gadgets, in your car, everywhere, in your houses. Everything is automated. You book a flight. Do you know how many processes are running behind the scene? The automation, your cookies are tracked, emails are flying out. All of this is super automated, and all of this are generating audit logs, metadata, and everything. Communication. We are communicating at fast pace, and with 5G around the corner, or almost here, it will be even faster. AI will be really real time. And obviously, internet is making everything as a service, so it's so easy to consume all this capability. So this results into something inevitable. I call it advanced innovation, because AI is the current form of advanced innovation. So there's a paradigm shift in terms of how businesses are evolving today. Businesses are building smart applications. And how do these smart applications become smart? Obviously, they're using the legacy system, IT, their data, and they're coming together. There is this convergence in terms of how IT, data science, your business intelligence, management information, all are integrating with artificial intelligence capability. And we are moving into a new trend, okay? I don't know, 20 years ago, CEO will come and ask you, give me the data of my business operations. A decade ago, it might have trended into, show me management information. Show me what my data is saying. Tell me what's happening. They probably want to know how much I sold in June and how much I sold in July. So probably 2 million in July, and say August, maybe 5 million, right? That's just information from your data. But trend today is to understand this invisible insight between 2 million and 5 million. This invisible trend is what we're after, and this is intelligence. Data can give you that, but understanding the pattern of the processes and operations. So this invisible insights is what we're after, okay? And that's what AI brings forward. It understands the pattern through your processes and operations and gives you that insight to take informed decisions. And there are many ways to do it. Every service provider has almost the same capability. So in terms of technology is not the problem. Every service provider has this. So where is the problem? Executive thinking. So this is where the problem starts. We're not thinking forward. We're not thinking about the problem. We're not thinking about the users. So let me just help you there, if I can. So maybe this summarizes some of the current state that you're witnessing. Someone might come and say, hey, business, your business, would you like AI? No, thanks. We're busy. We're busy dealing with our day-to-day challenges. And I think there's no other way to describe the current situation of most of the businesses other than this picture. And I'm sure most of you can acknowledge that. So let me transform that into some sensible terms. We call it AI barriers. AI barriers could be obviously starting with data. I don't have data. Okay. I don't know how to work with ethics if I have data. If I have ethics and data, I don't have the skills, or I don't know what technology to choose. Availability of people and knowledge. Executive support. Obviously, you need top-down approach to drive AI innovation. And once you have all of this in place, you need to have a really good strategy, a blueprint, what you're going to do, who's going to come in, and who's going to deliver, and how, most importantly. Last but not the least, culture. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. And my way of saying it is technology is the easy part. Culture is the most challenging part of AI innovation. So let me sort of give a bit more points on that. So first thing first, understand have you got an AI problem. And to understand an AI problem, you've got to understand what is it that you're trying to achieve. Why do you want AI? Okay? So these few tips will help you. If you want to empower your employees or anyone, maybe AI is one way to do it with IT and tech. If you want to engage with your customers and retain them or have feedback or understand what is it that they're after, engaging with your customer is a really good use case. Enhancing your current systems and processes. Optimizing your operations, end-to-end supply chain, you name it. And ultimately transforming your legacy system. Because if it's got data, you could put IOPS on it. Yeah? There's a lot of ways you could transform your entire landscape. So these are the way you can identify use cases. And how do you build the AI business strategy? So ask yourself this question. Why am I doing this? Which gives you that problem. Or start with the problem and ask yourself. If you don't have a problem, you don't need AI. Okay? Simple as that. Once you know what you're doing, the next step is, what is the next step? What is it that you want to do? Do you already have some capability? So assess yourself. Where are you? Okay, out of 1 to 5, are you at 2? Do you need to go at 4? To go at 4, I need to innovate. I'm literally at 1, so I need to build. I'm at 4, I need to probably predict, which is 5. So see where you need to go, assess yourself, and put a strategy and direction in place. And this is driven from an organizational portfolio perspective. Once you have all of this in place, there comes the how. This is where the tech comes in terms of creating, integrating your existing landscape, and analyzing your existing data, and managing this through. And obviously, sustaining this. You got to think long term. Sustainability of the operation and AI is critical. You don't want to create legacy on a legacy. That's one way to waste money. Okay? And make sure this is secure. Secure not just for you, for your business users. Ethics and everything, all of this needs to be embedded into it. Ultimately, create a well-rounded, good solution. So whole idea is create something beneficial and trustworthy so that your business will thank you for having this. So strategy, I'm not going to give a strategy lesson because I know you all know how to do it. So few tips. Have a vision, ultimate end goal in place. Work with the culture, because if you come in and say, I'm going to implement AI next month, you're going to disrupt a lot of operations. Manage this as a business change. Give at least 6 months timeline, inform everyone, embed this and democratize within your business. Have a blueprint plan, make it transparent. More transparency, the better. AI is a mindset. Remember that. It's not a technology. It's like cybersecurity, for example. Approach. Approach is the most critical part. You got to understand what is right for your business. A top-down approach or a bottom-up approach or a mesh approach. Top-down approach is leadership driving this with backing of some funding and strategy, obviously. Bottom-up approach is you have the data and you've got the problem in your operations and you're managing with your existing skills and data. So you have different problem there, right? But you have the benefit of your data and tech team already in place. So you leverage their skills, you leverage your data, and that's how you work with it. And that's how you choose your technology as well. Yeah? Now, leadership is the most critical ingredient in this case. The reason is leadership brings the right people. It brings the right chief AI officer or designer, architects, and business analysts who understand AI as a concept. It's a sensitive, complex technology. The value chain is complicated. So leadership is critical. You need an AI leader. You need an AI success manager, someone who could really come and put the architecture in place, a business architecture in place, and ensuring there's processes and ultimately doing this ethically. Another key thing most of the businesses that forget is they don't democratize AI properly. This is where the business change concept comes into play. If your customers are going to be impacted, let them know, make them aware. If your employees are going to use AI, for example, HR, chatbot is helping the HR staff, you got to talk to them and take their feedback and ask them how they feel about it before you drop that in. The disruption of AI is very similar to, I use this example where you probably are using iPhone or Android, and I just switched it. How would you feel if I switched your phone to something else? Yeah, we don't want that feeling, do we? Yeah, precisely. So, what's next? I just want to leave with a few thoughts. Now, you might be thinking, I'll get a few data scientists and that should solve my problem. No. Data science or data scientist or machine learning coding, to be precise, is part of, as you can probably see, is 10% in the AI value chain, right? Business change and nothing is even, that's not even factored here. So you got to think data science itself is not going to solve the problem. There's a lot more things around it. So really understand what is it that you want to do, what is it that you want, how do you want to architect your business and operating model within the AI landscape. Obviously, you need leadership layer around it, business change layer around it. So it just gives you, just to give you some perspective. And also, most of the projects fail for various reasons. It's because they don't acknowledge the barrier and they focus on short-term goals. I'm going to get a Python developer, and that should solve my problem, right? I can get as many AI models and coding I want. Python is here today. Python may not be here tomorrow. Cognitive services here today. It may not be there tomorrow. You got GPUs. GPUs might be here, but tomorrow it will be quantum. So, in principle, it's important not to just specialize in a tech, but become pretty much embed this as a mindset. For developers, I say become an artist, don't be a developer. Because when tech changes, your skill will go. But if you have the mindset of being creative and developing new capabilities and designing new things, just like I said over here, expert may have the skills when the tech changes. An artist will always design, apply, and express continuously. Hope this was helpful. Thank you.